This is SBS World News with Anton Enos and Janice Peterson.
Good evening. 30 multinational companies have become the latest targets in tomorrow's budget. They're coming under the microscope for sending billions of dollars in profits offshore to minimise tax here.
Despite the new fresh focus, the Treasurer, Joe Hockey, remains under pressure.
The budget books are printed. The Treasurer is ready. Overshadowed this month by the Minister for Social Services, Joe Hockey has struck back with an announcement of his own.
Tomorrow night I will be releasing legislation that strengthens our anti-avoidance regime.
The Treasurer outlined surprise plans to target 30 multinational corporations.
In fact, they've been paying no tax in Australia.
He won't name them, but BHP and Rio Tinto appeared at the recent Senate inquiry into tax avoidance.
It's a lot of money. Obviously,
billions that could otherwise be taxed here. Earlier, Scott Morrison was forced to deny he was after the Treasurer's job.
And Joe Hockey's doing his part in the team, I'm doing my part in the team, the Prime Minister's doing his part in the team.
His media appearances have become a story in themselves. The Prime Minister fielded questions too.
Did Scott Morrison have a conversation with you last week about the Treasury portfolio?
we all work together, as we should. Next question.
After last year's disastrous budget announcements and bungled sales pitch, it's Minister Scott Morrison who's been doing most of the running this year and generating most of the publicity promoting government policies. For Treasurer Joe Hockey, this is a make or break budget. The Prime Minister is promoting the childcare package. It's designed to make childcare more affordable.
The vast majority of people will be significantly better off.
But there are losers. Just ask the National Party.
We, in the Nationals Party of the Centre, have some concerns about the fact that we're not recognising the benefits of stay-at-home parenting.
Why is it that this government can only use blackmail as a tactic to get a budget measure through?
There is nothing fair in these cuts to family tax benefits that will just hurt families.
The budget process has been underway for months, with the Expenditure Review Committee determining what's cut and what's funded. Assistant Treasurer Josh Frydenberg is on the ERC.
It's going to be a busy week, I think.
There are more budget announcements to come.
Jobs and small business will be a big feature of Joe Hockey's budget.
But last year's budget has taken a toll.
There's a real focus on being practical as to what we can get through the Senate, because clearly last year, Catherine, there were a number of measures that got blocked in the Senate.
Tomorrow it's up to the Treasurer and all eyes will be on him.
We'll see you tomorrow night. Thank you very much.
And our chief political correspondent, Catherine McGrath, joins us now live from Canberra. Catherine, we've heard so much already about this budget. Is there anything left to announce on the night?
Anton, you're right. This is unprecedented to have effectively daily pre-budget announcements, but the government has done that to counteract the problems it had last year. We've had childcare, we've had pensions, we had today the crackdown on multinationals, and also the announcement from the government that it will tax international downloads accessed here in Australia. But there is more to come. There is going to be a big jobs package in this budget. That is part of what the government have said all along. It's work, family, it's jobs. There'll be outlines of that in the budget, details about plans to get people back to work to create jobs, but also on small business there will be more. We've already heard and have talked a long time about the cut in company tax rate and also depreciation of $10,000, but there will be more because many small businesses are not incorporated and so many small businesses can't access that tax cut. There will be improvements in red tape, in what's required from the obligations of small business, and that will save small business money, we're told, Anton.
The other thing to mention, Catherine, is that a year ago the government was talking about a budget emergency. What's happened to that?
Well, as we've discussed, they've completely changed their rhetoric, because no matter how this is dressed up, no matter how people can comment one way or the other, it's really been a fairly diabolical 12 months for the government following that first budget, because it miscalculated and then it didn't sell what was in the policy anyway. So now there are no more talks about a budget emergency. Instead, what the government talks about is a credible return to surplus. But we do know from economists that the budget deficit will be around the cash deficit of around $45 billion. That is large. The childcare package alone announced over the weekend is $3.5 billion. The government says it will offset that with savings elsewhere, but it may have trouble getting those savings. So effectively the budget is not going down anytime soon. It will continue, and the government's new message is about jobs and families and about protecting small business, Anton. That's the message this time.
A big day tomorrow. That's Catherine McGrath reporting live from Canberra.
And later, enough of the pollies, we speak with the people. What you think should be in tomorrow's budget, that's shortly.
The British Prime Minister is